What's up, internet friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about whether Star Wars Outlaws is just a GTA game in space. But before we get into that, I want to provide some background on my relationship with this game as well as Star Wars in general. Your boy is a very new Star Wars fan. I watched all the movies, I would say, in the last 3 to 6 years. I missed out on Star Wars being a part of my childhood, and I really regret that, to be honest. I leaned more towards, comic book movies and just comic book media growing up. So, like the Marvel and DC movies of the time, even to this day. But with that said, when I learned they were making an open world crime game set in the Star Wars universe, I was very excited because I love open world crime games, aka like GTA, Red Dead, all the other quote unquote GTA clones. Always love those types of games. And when I had just coming off of watching all the Star Wars movies, learning they were going to do an open world Star Wars game where there's a criminal aspect, I got really hype. But that excitement fizzled out when Ubisoft did what they do, which is basically release a game that's unfinished, a game that has a lot of bugs, and is constantly asking you to buy season passes at launch for additional content that should just be part of the game. So after a rough launch, your boy did not buy this game at launch. I instead bought it around the holiday season of 2024 when it went on sale, and you know, after it received some much needed updates, that I played the long game. I waited. Um, I certainly binged it for a month and then kind of left it for a few months, and I just recently jumped back into it to kind of like wrap up the story. I also heard that there were additional updates made to the game mechanics, so another reason for me to dive back into it. I also saw that the DLCs that were put out for the game are on sale, so I got those. I don't know if I'm going to play them right away, but I just picked them up because they're on sale. Anywho, now I know this game got and still gets a lot of hate for good reasons most times, like, the character models looking like plastic at times, or the cutscenes being awkward due to the lip syncing being off, or even like repetitive animations with melee takedowns. And honestly, all of those criticisms are valid. But I'm here to say it's still, not that bad of a game, bro. It has some solid shooting mechanics. Your blaster can do a multitude of things. It's got very solid stealth, which I love to see in any of my games that I like to play. And it really does feel like you're wandering around in the Star Wars universe. And the graphics are solid overall. Like the game's obviously has some fuzzy performance here and there, but overall it looks good, to me at least. Like I don't need much to please me, as long as we're not playing with like PS2 graphics. Like anything in the PS4 graphics level and beyond, I'm here for. I'm not the super nerd that's like, what about the frames per second and what about that? I got a basic LED TV that if games look good enough and the gameplay is good, I'm here for it. Obviously, some games look better than others, like The Witcher, Red Dead Redemption 2, um, Last of Us, even Spider-Man 2. Like those graphics are incredible. I'd say those are like my top tier graphical uh, games, but yeah, there's certainly uglier games out there. So I'm not gonna be a stickler with Star Wars Outlaws. But again, well, not again. Let me just say this off rip because this is sounding like a review. This is not a Star Wars Outlaws game review in 2025. I think there's plenty of those videos out there, and I can certainly make one, but I'm not here to do that today. We're here to answer the crazy question of whether Star Wars Outlaws is just a GTA game in space. Is this a space GTA clone, if you will? The short answer is yes, but not really, and really no, but kinda. That's the short answer. Please don't stop the video at this point, but that is the short answer. The long answer is it makes me ask a bunch of questions. Is this an open world crime game? Yes, technically it is an open world crime game. You play as a thief who gets a major, wanted level essentially with a big crime syndicate. You can do jobs for different crime syndicates. You could steal from different crime syndicates and get into shootouts with those syndicates. And you build up a rep with different syndicates that are positive and negative. Um, so from the outside looking in, it has the elements of an open world crime game in space. But when you ask the question, can you steal vehicles from civilians? No. Can you steal spaceships from people and take them on an outer space joyride? No. Can you go on a shoot 'em up rampage and shoot up civilians in a town that brings the authorities to come stop you? Also no. This game is almost like an ethical open world crime game. It's certainly a Disney-fied open world crime game, and honestly, that's okay. That's kind of Star Wars' brand. They've always been kind of kid friendly at the end of the day, so I get it. Even though they have like very adult themes of like rebellion and resistance and that whole thing, but they have a brand of just trying to appeal to the masses, and that includes kids. So we'll call it an open world scoundrel game, if you will. So we talked about what you can't do in this game, but let's think about what you can do. Can you sneak around and steal stuff from different syndicates? Yes. Can you rack up a wanted level with the Empire? Yes. Can you pick and choose which gangs or crime syndicates you're favorable with? Yes. Can you hunt for treasure, secrets, and loot? Yes. Can you customize your character, weapon, and vehicles? Yes. Can you explore the world? Obviously, yes. Could there be more exploration? For sure. But all of the things you can do make me think of the things I like to do in Grand Theft Auto games. And that's why I think of this game as a Star Wars GTA game of sorts. It's not entirely a GTA space game, but it has the elements to make it that. Part of me hopes they add more criminal content to this game, like let me rob a civilian or do some breaking and entering. I don't know. These are just my thoughts on this game. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, peace.
Okay, looks like the way is clear. Why was it Zarek Basher, not the Imps?
My guess? Ever since we hit him, Slater has been targeting rebels, trading us for influence. Now, Kay,